I think nowadays the Christian right, majorly coming from US, are the ones who are really causing quite a lot of problems for us. And especially those fundamentalists, the Christian right or the Christian Zionists, whatever you want to call them, that come from the States, and of course does not mean that there aren't followers for them in Europe or in other parts of the world, in Indonesia or in Nigeria or in other parts of the world. For me, the scenarios these Christian right are creating are very dangerous. It's not the Christianity which I've learned. It's not reading the Bible, which I, as a Lutheran and a normal Christian, have learned. It's a perverted version of how to read the Bible. When you make scenarios of Armageddon, of the rapture, of uprooting the Dome of the Rock and building the third temple and hastening the second coming of Jesus. And there will be, first of all, more than one parousia, more than one second coming for Jesus. For me, as a Christian who confesses the creed, the Nicene Creed, the Apostolic Creed, or even the Athanasian Creed, we believe only in one parousia, in one coming for Jesus in every Sunday to rule the dead, the living and the dead. Now, when you come with Jesus the powerful, that comes to reign and to make a normal kingdom, I would say, Jesus said, my kingdom is not in this world. And how come that they really put the words of Jesus aside and they want to make a kingdom for Jesus which Jesus doesn't want? The kingdom of Jesus is not in power. The kingdom of Jesus is in the believers in every church, is in those believers who were before us and after us, have witnessed and will be witnessing. Jesus' kingdom is in the church. And for this reason, it's difficult for me sitting in Jerusalem to find this Christian right are bringing, first of all, the parousia. Second of all, a theology of Israel, which is strange to us. You see, they don't even accept what we believe in politics, and which is not religion, that we believe in two-state solution for the state of Israel and the state of Palestine, living side by side in peace and reconciliation. They think this is against the will of God. Why? Why the Palestinian-Israeli conflict is not a conflict since the time of Jesus. It's a conflict only since 1917, since 1948. I mean, let's face it. Now, and what is more harmful with these extremists are, to make Jesus a warrior or a ninja. Those who don't believe with him, he will deal with them in violence. My Jesus is never the Jesus of this world. He is always the Jesus of the cross. And for me, anybody who believes Jesus is the Jesus of the power and violence and this world, he is perverting, or she is perverting, the real nature of Jesus. And for me, this is a false teaching. His glory was in the cross. Why I am saying that? Because I'm afraid also for the American society that allows the Christian right to grow. Because when they allow them to grow, they are promoting militarization. And I'm afraid for your society, being a bishop in Jerusalem, a simple bishop in Jerusalem. I'm afraid, where is the American society heading? The American society was never a society that promotes militarization. It's always a society that promotes dialogue and convincing. And I'm really worried. And don't blame us when we say the Christian right, the Christian ideology, it's not it's a sick ideology. And it's, for me, a false teaching. And even I dare to say it's a heresy. And we have to stand up and say that for the sake of the Christianity, for the sake of Jesus. There are many naive Christians among the Christian right. Many who really follow because they want to be loyal to Jesus. And we have to be in dialogue with them and give them this message. My Jesus is the Jesus of love. He loves the Christian, the Muslim, the Jew, the American, the Palestinian, the Iraqi, the Iranian alike. Jesus likes as we sing in the school, Jesus really loves, or in the Sunday school we used to do, Jesus loved the white, the yellow, the black, every nation, from every ethnicity. For Jesus, he is, or she is a human being. He does not differentiate. And that's what I believe. And that's the fundamentals of our faith. Because Jesus did not say, I have come to save the Christians. It says in John 3:16, so loved Jesus the world, so that God the world, that he sent his only son to save us. And that for me is the basics, the fundamental faith, that all of us are equal, and all these scenarios that we are seeing from the extremism are dangerous for us Christians. Now, when we come to speak on extremism, when we are seeing you may say that why is the bishop speaking to the Christians but not speaking to the Muslim extremists? Yes, we talk to them. And we are against any kind of extremism. We don't accept any kind of Islamists ideology that thinks to Islamize the whole world and make one caliphate. We are against that, not only being a Palestinian Christian, also Palestinian Muslims. They think the same. But the problem is, at the moment, that this Islamist extremism is growing. And we have to ask why. And we have to say it's wrong what they are doing. We cannot accept violence or terrorism in the name of God from anybody, be it a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew. If you want to use violence, we are against you anyhow. But don't put the name of God or your religion into the horrendous act that you want to do. And for me, we have to be clear on these issues. Because, extremism brings more extremism. And extremism brings more hatred among the nations. And extremism, what we are noticing now in the Middle East, is frightening everybody. is not only frightening the governments, it's frightening the normal Muslim, the normal Christian, the normal Jew. It's frightening everybody, because we are not doomed or predestined to be extremists. We are predestined to be people of goodwill, to live together, to coexist together, to see God in the other, not only in our religion or in our followers, but in every human being that God has created equally and that God has redeemed equally on the cross.